Hi, I'm Dr. Ling, consultant pediatrician at Thomson Hospital, Kota Damansara in Malaysia. Okay, in Malaysia, school is scheduled to reopen in phases from 4th October 2021. This is despite the fact that so few of our students have received the COVID vaccine. I'm not just a pediatrician, but also a parent to 2 school-going kids. I am against school reopening before vaccines are given to our children. Here I would like to share with everybody 5 reasons why our kids must take the vaccines first before attending physical school. Okay, the first and most important reason, we want to provide our kids the best fighting chance against COVID. I hope by now, most of us parents will be convinced about giving our kids the vaccine. If any of us are still uncertain, let me tell you this. The benefits of the vaccine far outweighs the side effects. I know many parents are worried about the side effects, especially the heart inflammation or myocarditis. But let me paint this picture for all of us. The overall risk of myocarditis from the vaccine is 1 in 50 to 100,000. Myocarditis is commoner in boys and occurs more frequently on the second dose of the vaccine. At the worst case scenario, the risk of myocarditis in boys who take the second dose is 1 in 20,000. And almost all of them were mild and made uneventful recovery. Compare this to the risk of myocarditis when our children get COVID, which is 1 in 2,000, and it tends to be more severe. Besides that, when they get COVID, there is a 1 in 100 chance of being admitted to hospital, 1 in 10 chance of developing prolonged symptoms post-infection, also known as long COVID, and 1 in 7,500 chance of dying from COVID. If our kids take the vaccine, we can reduce these risks tremendously and almost eliminate the risk of death from COVID in children. Are we still not convinced already? So take the vaccine. Okay, the second reason is we can reduce risk of COVID clusters forming. Schools are the perfect breeding grounds for COVID. The virus can easily spread when children gather during recess time and in school buses or transporter vans. The students also tend to remain in enclosed spaces in the classroom for prolonged periods, increasing risk of transmission. Vaccinating the teachers only will not do. The students also need to be vaccinated, as vaccines not only can reduce chance of being infected, but also able to reduce chance of infecting others. You see, if a person who is vaccinated gets infected with COVID, he would not transmit the virus easily because the duration of being contagious is shortened drastically. If everybody must be vaccinated before dining in or going to cinemas, then everybody should be vaccinated also before attending school. Now we move on to the third reason, to reduce risk of transmission to the community. We can see that during the early part of this year, when we started physical school, the number of cases in the country also increased. We can also see the same happening in the US as well as in the UK, who have just commenced physical school recently. While our vaccine uptake among the adults as a whole is really encouraging, there are certain states where the uptake is really poor. In Sabah, 31% of adults are still unvaccinated, while in Kelantan, it's 23%. That's a lot of people. I suspect the reason for the poor uptake has more to do with fear rather than the unavailability of vaccines. These states are like time bombs, and the opening of schools is going to light the fuse that ignites them. Furthermore, in some states, the ICUs are teetering on the brink of overcapacity. Take Penang as an example. 94% ICU utilization. Pahang, 93%, while in Perak, 86%. We just need a sudden surge in cases as that caused by schools reopening to cripple our healthcare system. So by vaccinating the students before opening school, we are able to reduce transmission and cases in the community and keep our healthcare system functioning at optimal level. Okay, now the fourth reason. Protecting lives is more important than formal education. Okay, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying education is unimportant. It is. But in the light of these unusual pandemic times, our children's lives take precedence over education. Furthermore, we have other options in providing education. In many schools, classes can still be carried out successfully online without physical school. We also need to look at our children's education from a different perspective. Education can happen outside the classroom, like having house chores responsibility, learning how to cook, dance, play music, or even make YouTube videos. Well, actually, my kids are the ones who produced my videos. They are my so-called social media managers. So remember, we need to protect lives. Education can happen anywhere, even at home. Now, reason number 5. Vaccine approval for younger children is coming real soon. The Pfizer vaccine is already approved for children ages 12 to 17. Based on recent news, approval for vaccine use in the younger age groups will be coming really soon. In the US, the studies for the 5 to 11 age group have already come out, showing fantastic antibody response using only 1/3 the adult dose with excellent safety profile, comparable to those in the older age groups. Approval from the FDA is expected in October next month. Studies for those below 5 using only 10% of the adult vaccine dose will also be coming out shortly and might be approved as early as end of 2021. So really not long more to go before the vaccines will get the green light for use in most children. It's not like the approval will take another year or two. We are looking at a time frame of less than 4 months. Physical school has been disrupted for 1.5 years now. What is another few months wait? What is the rush to open schools? Therefore, for these reasons, I would like to urge the government to defer school reopening, speed up the vaccination process for the 12 to 17-year-olds, and only allow those who have been fully vaccinated to return to physical school. For those children between 5 to 11 years old who are still not eligible for vaccination, they can continue online learning until they can be vaccinated once approval is granted within the next 2 to 3 months. Once our children have been fully vaccinated, the schools can open in full force, but with continued masking. While I do recognize the prudence of the authorities in opening school gradually, vaccinating our kids before starting school is of paramount importance. Reopening school at the expense of losing just one young life to COVID would not have been justified, no matter how we look at it. I shudder to think that this one young life lost could be my child. So I would like to call on all parents to make some noise and urge the authorities to prioritize vaccinating our children before school reopens. Keep them away from physical school and continue online learning until they have been fully vaccinated. I repeat, get our children vaccinated. And this advice is also for parents with children 11 years and below once approval is granted. Okay, that's it for this segment. Take care, stay safe, and continue to have a heart for kids. And remember, get your kids vaccinated.